empath was back then, but I've come to realize an empath basically is a word that empathy is derived from. If we have empathy, we can feel and resonate and understand what other people feel. So an empath is an individual or entity that is hypersensitive, that feels other people's energy. So I was feeling other people's energy, their joy, their happiness, their trauma, their fears, but I was so in tune that I was picking up other people's trauma, feeling as though it's my own, and I wasn't able to tell the difference. And that's another reason why I was having the seizures. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Yeah.
But I didn't understand this back then, and no one taught me, so I had to learn the hard way. And luckily, I'm still alive. So all these things were happening, and I kept getting into business with people, and I kept getting abused because that was my pattern. That was one winning formula from childhood, and that was a way that I sought love and recognition. But I didn't realize this then. I do a lot of work through psychology, counseling, became a coach, and I started to understand myself. And I've realized along the journey, it's not about saving anyone else. It's about saving myself, transforming myself, and my transformation will transform other lives. And as a coach before, when I became a coach, I was trying to save other people's lives, and it was never about them. It was about myself. So it was toxic because I was projecting my needs, my desires, my agendas onto them.
Yeah.
Coaches do this. Doesn't mean they're bad people. They're just not aware. So we have to be aware. That's very important. So again, all these lessons were happening, but I was a slow learner, and I've been to the seminars, I've read the books. There's only so much you can learn from seminars and books. I had the mentors as well, but it's a journey. And I said to one of my mentors a number of years ago, I said, is pain the most effective teacher? He looked at me square in the eye and said, hell no, but for some people, it's the only way. And I was one of those people. And what I realized was that what was interesting is there's another story here. As you can tell, I'm a bit of a storyteller.
Yeah.
Walking along, and he had a dog, and the dog was whining. And the passerby said, why is your dog whining? Oh, he stepped on a nail, the paws on a nail. So why doesn't he move? Why don't you do something about it? He said, oh, it doesn't hurt bad enough yet. And that's like us in life. I ask my clients, okay, have you had enough yet? Have you had enough pain?
Yeah.
We are addicted to pain. People don't realize that. It's actually an addiction because it's our comfort zone. So we have to be aware and get that self-awareness. If we can't do that for ourselves, we have to have people around us that can do that for us. So again, the journey carried on going. And because I haven't resolved the trauma within myself, I kept repeating the same patterns again and again and again in more difficult and more powerful and more painful ways. So in business, tried to leave the UK many times, went to Australia in 2015 to do business, didn't work, ended up coming back again. My girlfriend at the time, an amazing lady, she could see that other people were using me and breaking me down. And she said, these people, they're not your friends, they don't care for you. But I couldn't see it. And in the end, that relationship broke apart for a number of different reasons. Again, that's another topic for another day. I can coach on relationships just from that. She taught me a lot, and she taught me basically a lot of the things that were destructive in my life, and we projected on each other. But through that relationship, that's what turned me from a boy into a man. And I had another set of seizures then in 2014. And again, I was working for a company. I think we're going to need longer. I'm just going to keep it short. I need to complete the book because this is all going to be in the book. And I was working, trying to build a business, and kept falling apart, trying different things, not working. And then fast forward, I was working in property in 2017. I got connected to someone else. And then we took equity out of mum and dad's house, put that in a project that put a lot of stress and pressure on mum and dad. And I was just taking crazy risks, which were not necessary. And it really put me at risk, but it put my family at risk and everyone else. The house is safe, but it was just unnecessary looking back. But I kept connecting with successful people. They kept coming back to me, and I didn't realize the patterns, but it was a destructive path. And I kept comparing myself to other people. And then I kept connecting with very successful people, and but not understanding what was going on with me. And because I haven't resolved my issues, I was toxic. And I just found out recently, a lot of people stayed connected with me because they saw value in me, and because they said to me, the feedback I get, you're pure spirit, you've got a good heart, you've got a big heart. We're concerned sometimes with the people that we've got around you. We question your judgment, but we trust you. We just trust the people around you. We don't trust necessarily the business opportunities connected with, but we trust you. So I am my brand and asset, and that's what kept me going over the years. And fast forward, I was building. The seizure was still happening. We were in south of France in Cannes in 2018 for a property event, and basically it was an amazing event. Anyone to do anything with property is there. There was a lot of wealth there. 4-day event. They generate more wealth in those 4 days than the whole of the Cannes Film Festival combined in 3 weeks. So I was really connected with very wealthy people that had yachts and all sorts. But because it was like serial networking for like 4 days, when I was in a bar there, I had a seizure in front of the lenders that we were having the event with. They thought I was on drugs and alcohol, but I wasn't. I made a very good friend there who was drinking water with me. I was rushed to the hospital, and then I woke up. I was in a different country, couldn't speak the language, and I just knew how to get home. Woke up, got a cab back to my apartment. I just slept for 14 hours. I was fine. And that friend that I connected with there, we're still friends today, and we've become a really good connection. So I've connected with some amazing people through the darkest of adversities. And then I want to rewind a little bit, because there was another business I was involved with around 2016. I tried to get away again, gone to Trinidad and Tobago. Actually, I forgot about that. So rewind a bit to 2016. I'd gone to Trinidad and Tobago, tried to do business out there. Didn't work. I ended up stranded on the island. A very good friend of mine that I was doing business with actually helped me to come back to the UK. Still connected to them, and I'll come back to this at the moment because that's one of the individuals I'm working with now, and they helped me in my darkest moments. And then being out in Trinidad and Tobago, I loved it out there. I loved the life. It was amazing. I got a taste of the dream life, but it didn't quite work out. And then on the last night there, basically, I'd gone to a birthday party, someone I met on the island, and then I went back home, went to the bar, and then basically got back. I was supposed to pack my stuff, and I was supposed to be up at 6 o'clock to leave the island, and I fell asleep and forgot to pack my stuff. And I'll tell you, it was crazy. Oh my God. So I had to pack everything quickly, got back because I was taking a boat from Tobago to Trinidad. And luckily, they waited for me. I was the last person on that boat, thank God. Oh, my God. So got on the boat, went to Trinidad, and got the plane back to the UK just about. But when I was on the island, it was beautiful. I was getting up about 5 o'clock in the morning, doing my work, finished about midday, went to the resorts, made friends there, and I was connecting people all over the world. At night time, I was going to the bar and not drinking, but just dancing to the music and coming back. So it was a beautiful lifestyle for a very short space of time. But came back to the UK. I was in business as well. Now, with this company that I was in business with, I found out they were all corrupt. And I'd lost money, time, energy, resources. And you keep putting time and energy. You think it's going to be the one. You think you found family. But it's all BS. It's all corruption. And I was like, oh, my God. And then I connected with someone, had a few conversations, and then met them in person at a restaurant. And basically, when I met them, they said something that triggered me. And then I realized what happened. And I just broke down in tears. I'd lost money. I lost time. I lost energy. I lost resources. I want to kill people. I couldn't. Well, I could have done, but it's not going to serve me. And I was just on my knees. And this individual looked at me and he said, James, you should have been a millionaire 10 years ago. So I said, okay, why aren't I? He said, you've got the wrong people around you. He said, the people around you, they're not elevating you. They're utilizing you, using you. You've got a big heart. You're pure spirit. He said, you're trying to help other people. You can't help yourself first. You need to get yourself in a good position first. He said, you give too freely. He said, familiarity breeds contempt. You give privileges far too soon. You're not good at setting healthy boundaries. You're not good at setting healthy expectations. Other people don't live up to your high standards. They don't have your drive and determination. And when they don't, you don't communicate effectively, you get upset, you explode. He said, you're too emotional. He said, your ability to create is extraordinary. I've never seen anything like it. Your ability to destroy is just as good, if not better. He said, you're too temperamental. You think everyone's like you, they're not. He said, you've got poor judgment in people. I can't invest in you, you're a liability.
Wow. Wow.
And people, they think of coaching, oh, it's fluffy and stuff, but I'm telling you, that is one of the most powerful bits of feedback I've ever got.
Yeah.
But it was life-saving. And all those weaknesses I've been able to turn into my strengths now. It's taken a long time, but through trial and error, refining, reflection and repetition, I got there.
Yeah. Wow.
So I was grateful. So I realized, I found out after this individual, he was a former finance VIP at a finance company in the city, walked away from that, set an app company in China. The Chinese government invested, very wealthy guy, invested in properties. He's a trader. Now he's got his own hedge fund. And so another individual I'm very grateful to be connected with. So again, along the journey, I'm just learning all these lessons. I wish someone taught me this before. I've learned it through pain. But it's more fun. It makes a more exciting journey, right? Otherwise, it's boring. So at least I've got a story to tell. And I found facts tell, stories sell. Everyone's got a story. So share your story, because your story could really impact other people. And there's lessons in there to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so kept moving forwards, kept failing forwards, trying to do different things. And then along the journey, became a personal trainer, got into nutrition, looked at diet, looked at nutrition, radio presenter, public speaker, consultant. I was operating as a trusted confidant for business owners, business leaders, investors, and clients. But I was broke. I was making other people money, but I was broke. And I was headhunted again by another individual to raise finance and work in the finance sector. This was around January 2020. And I was not in a good space. And I said, all these people are taking from me. And he said, James, are they taking or are you giving? Take responsibility. I said, I'm giving. I said, well, what do I do? He said, you've got two options. He said, you stop giving, stop caring. But he said, the danger of that is you lose the essence of who you are, because your vulnerability is your strength. I said, what's the other option? He said, well, you just surround yourself with people that you can trust that have you back. I said, yeah, well, that's what I've been trying to do. He said, well, you got poor judgment then. Can't argue with that. So I had to look at self and what was going on around me.
Yeah.
I looked at that, and then I was raising finance for people in tech companies. Two of my personal friends that have become brothers to me now. One of them was a former tech advisor for Ken Livingstone when he was the mayor of London. He actually devised a congestion charge. He doesn't tell people because it's not popular. He was a former tech advisor for the Met Police during the London Olympics. He actually looked after the surveillance. Former tech advisor for the NHS. Any tech medical products coming in that he didn't authorize got rejected. And he actually built cities. The guy is a genius. He did a PhD in AI for geriatrics. His father passed away from dementia, had a really bad episode with his grandmother, and that really triggered him emotionally. He walked away from a 200K a year salary to set up his own business. Incredible product. And I helped him raise finance. Didn't quite work out, but the relationship we built is like a brother to me. Yeah. And just recently, have you heard of AstraZeneca?
Yes, absolutely. The vaccine.
Yeah, I never heard of them before. I heard of them 2 weeks ago, and now three things happened. The first thing is obviously the vaccination. Second thing is my friend AstraZeneca has invested £700,000 into his business. So that's quite significant. And I'm connecting these people and I operate them as a consultant. So I've really good connections. And then that was 2019. Kept trying to make money. Nothing was working out. I was building business, doing my coaching. And then I got a job at Ocado 2018. I did some silly stuff in 2018. Oh my God, I completely. So basically, when this is after I went to Cannes, so there's no real order. Everything's coming back to me. I'm thinking, what the heck did I do back then? Oh my God. So I'll talk about this, but I will, because it's got to help people. So
absolutely.
After I had the seizure in Cannes, came back to the UK, and obviously the guy I was in real estate with, he called up my mum. He was really scared, and my mum was calm, and then I was okay. Came back to London 2018, March time. What had happened was we'd taken out £300,000 equity from mum and dad's house. We put that into a project. and he was paying the mortgage. So the property was safe, and he was paying me £1,500 each month. But basically, he was paying me with the interest we were supposed to be getting anyway. So he got to work for him for free, basically.
Yeah.
Exploitation at its best. I've still got a relationship with him, but these are successful business people. This is what they do.
Yeah.
He stopped the payment because I wasn't working for him anymore. And I was like, wow. So he stopped the interest, which I should be getting anyway, but because I wasn't working, he stopped the payment. And I didn't have money coming in, couldn't pay my bills. I went into deep stress. And the thing is, if we're under stress for prolonged periods of time, then it's not healthy. Short stress is good. Prolonged stress, your body releases hormones, cortisol, your IQ is reduced by 50%. Now, what's happening in the world now, people have been under stress for 12 months. People aren't thinking straight. I'm not going to get into conspiracy theories, but for me, Corona isn't a pandemic. People are making poor choices. There's a lot of things going on. So rewind back to 2018. I just want to get out of my house because I love my dad to bits, but I was living with them, but I needed my own space. So I connected with someone. Oh my God. I connected with someone on an online platform. That's all I'm saying. When I was in Cannes, met them in London, met them the first time. We just kind of connected, and she had her own place. She'd been very successful, had gone through a divorce, and she's an amazing soul as well. And basically, where she had her beauty salon in Mayfair, there was a guy there every day who used to work at Pret. Now she found him homeless at one point. She felt sorry for him. She got him to come and live with her. Just a big heart. How many people do you know that do that? Not many people. So I connect with her, and then I said, let's go away together, right? And nothing happened romantically, but there was a kindred spirit. So she had a spare room there, and I want to get away from home. She said, why don't you move in? So I went to stay there, and then this guy was living downstairs, and he was homeless basically, and it became problematic where he wasn't paying anything. He smelled really bad, and he was stealing her food as well. She was trying to help him, but you can't help people who don't want to help themselves.
Yeah.
Actually, what happened was, cut a long story short, I'd got in there, and I said, listen, we need to have a conversation, and spoke to this guy. And I said, listen, this isn't acceptable. You can't live here anymore. So basically, I helped her get rid of him, and I took his spot. I completely forgot about that. Oh my God. So I was living there, and then she had some issues. I borrowed £1,000 off a friend who I'm still paying back, who doesn't even know about this, to help her out. And then basically I was in a tight spot. So I got a payday loan out from George Banco. It was like £10,000. And then I was using that to live basically. And then this was in Sidcup. So I moved to Sidcup, and it's difficult there without a car. So I said, let me get a car. So I went to get a car. And we were living above a car, basically, showroom. I could have got a cheap car for a couple of £1,000 or £1,500, but I was no, let me get a nice car because I want to build business, because you got to have an image, right?
Yes,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah. So what I did was I went looking for a car. My dream car was a Mercedes E350 black convertible. So I was looking for that, found a showroom, got my mum to come along, and basically not enough that I've got money from the house to try and do business. I got my mum's credit, and I got a car on lease, which is about £24,000 car. So, oh my God, all this stuff is coming back to me now. Bloody hell. So I got that car on finance, and I was well within out of my means. So don't go beyond your means. Don't do it, because it's all ego and insecurities. And I was trying to do these things, and I got the car. But what I noticed was people were treating me differently because they saw the car. I was saying the same things before, but now because I got the car, they were taking me serious. So because I had the car, I was trying to use that as a brand to build a business. Wasn't working out that way because I was attracting the wrong people. Just be yourself, be genuine. And not only that, but my friend that I was living with, she had a gambling problem I didn't know. Her brother was in business. He gave her £5,000 to put in the bank. She went to she went to a casino, and she was trying to win it back. She lost everything. And then it was crazy. And she was in a tight spot. She was going to commit suicide. And I was trying to get her to do business with. So I was thinking, all right, let me help her out with this, and then we can do business together. I got my mum to take out another £10,000 loan from basically a another payday loan company on my name. She was a guarantor, and I took £5,000 off that and just paid off her gambling thing to her brother. And again, it was crazy of me to do that, trying to help other people out. And then money was running out, and I got my mum to take out another loan from Lloyd's Bank for £10,000. So it was like, but I was in a crazy spot doing crazy things, and it's putting a lot of pressure on mum and dad. And mum and dad didn't do the best for me, but they done what they could. But what they had was love. And even my dad was saying to me, don't get in debt. And what I did then was crazy. And it's just looking back, it was like, don't do things like this. Please, please, please. It's crazy. So then I was driving the car. I was running out of money quickly. I was at the gym, Virgin Active. So I was living way beyond my means. On the surface, everyone, because I talked the talk, I looked successful. I could hang around millionaires. But when they start seeing the strings unraveling, they were like, wow, this dude's not like us. So what happened was things were getting very desperate at this point. And then I got a job. I got a job working at Ocado. And I loved it because I was driving the van, and I was helping people out, and I was getting income coming in. So that was good. And I had the car, and I was building business on the side. So it was 2018, 3 years ago, February time. I went to the gym, and chronologically, the order comes and goes, but just bear with me. Yeah, so February 2018, I'd gone to the gym session in Virgin Active in the morning, had a 45-minute intense session, sauna, steam room, swimming, had meetings during the daytime, and then basically had a gym meeting during the day, gym session in the evening, 45-minute workout, intense, sauna, steam room, swimming, still couldn't switch off, had acupuncture, cupping, Thai massage, still couldn't switch off, had a Radox bath at home, I still couldn't switch off, I couldn't sleep. And I phoned up one of my friends who's an expert, and he was like, dude, you need to get that sorted out, because he said that's not normal. So that's why I was having the seizures. This for my seizures was dehydration, lack of sleep. Sometimes I was going 3 days with only 3 hours sleep and high levels of stress. And I didn't understand that. So my body kept falling apart. Now, February 2018, one of my business partners and friends had found this solution. And he was telling me about it. I wasn't interested. 6 months, he kept telling me. He was very successful, had a great track record. August 2018, he met and he bought this solution for me to use. And I thought it'd be rude to refuse, right? Not to mention ungrateful. And I thought, he bought it, let me try it. So it was a solution that you drink. Tasted really weird. I didn't like the taste of it. But what I noticed was on the 7th day, I went to sleep at 5 p.m. and I slept right through to 8 a.m. the next morning. And for me, that was life-changing. I was like, wow, I didn't know what the hell this thing was, but it was helping me. I spent about 6 to 9 months researching it. And as I was working at Ocado, I was driving the van. And when I was driving in my car as well, I was driving about 5 to 6, 7 hours a day. And basically, I was listening to all the content. I was researching. So I was filling my mind with 5 to 6 hours of positive content a day. So although I was in a very stressful position and a stressful environment, we have to feed our mind with good information. So it doesn't matter what's going on around you, feed your mind. So I'll give you another story analogy. Imagine to drink a glass of water with a drop of poison in it. If you were to drink it, we'd most probably die or be in hospital for months on end, right? The same quantity of poison in a swimming pool is negligent. It'll have no effect, right? Because the volume of water negates it. So the analogy is the poison is our negative influence, the water is our positive influence. So I've come to realize there's a certain amount of negativity in my business, my work, my friends, my family, my parents, your significant other, and all in yourself. You can't eradicate it, so don't try to. What I do is I fill myself with so much positivity. I read positive books, I listen to positive podcasts, I hang around people like you. I don't watch the news, I don't watch the radio, I don't care what's happening with Corona. Not that I don't believe in it, I'm just not interested. And I don't hang around negative people. Environment is critical. The most effective way to change your life is to change your environment. And this is quite scary and concerning. There was a study done to show that obviously we know plants get this energy through photosynthesis in the sun, but it's not the only way. It also gets the nutrients through the ground, through the plants, and through the roots, and through water. But plants, they're proven scientifically that plants can also get its energy from other plants. So what does this mean? Let's say you've got a forest and the plants on the ground and the sunlight comes in. It hits one of the plants, that plant grows stronger. The other plants don't get the sunlight, so it doesn't grow as strong. What will happen eventually is the weaker plants will feed off the stronger plant until the stronger plant no longer exists. And the energy from the strong plant is distributed amongst the weaker plants, and the weaker plants grow. What's scary is they've found that this also correlates to human beings.
Wow. Okay.
People say you're an average of the 5 people that you're around. That's true. But this that I'm sharing with you is even more critical, more powerful to protect your surroundings. Your is a key. We are energy, whether we like it or not. So we got to be very careful of our environment and surroundings. And if I've learned nothing else through lockdown, it's the importance of our environment and our surroundings.
Yeah.
If you're in an environment that's toxic, it doesn't matter how positive you are, it doesn't matter how good you are, it will wear you down, it will destroy you. And that's what happened to me my whole life. And I understand that now, but I had to go through so much pain to learn that. So it's important to protect your peace of mind, your heart, and your gut as well. So these are key things to understand. So over a period of time, people were noticing difference in me because I was taking the solution. And they said, you've changed. And I said, what do you mean changed? I said, your energy is different. I said, what do you mean different? They said, your energy shifted. I said, listen, I don't know what you're talking about. They said, don't take this the wrong way. We've always loved you. But in the past, your energy was too intense. You never switched off. You weren't present. You didn't listen. We couldn't get a word in edgeways. And it was draining being around you for long periods of time. Now, that's not healthy feedback.
Yeah.
Feedback, but it's not positive. And I was like, wow. I said, why didn't you tell me before? And they said, we told you many times, you didn't listen. And I was like, oh, wow. And because I was in my own mind. And I said, what about now? They said, now your energy is balanced, you're grounded, you're present, you're listening. It's a joy being around you. It's like you're a different person. What have you done? What have you changed? I was like, I don't know, because I wasn't tracking what I was doing. But looking back, the only thing that I changed was I started taking this product.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so I need to understand what this is. So I started studying the products, and what I realized was, wow, this is life-changing. So basically, without getting into too much science, we've got molecules in our cells. These facilitate cell-to-cell communication. We're born with it. Once our teens, our body stops producing as much of these molecules. After every 10 years, our body produces 10% less of these molecules. That's why children heal quicker than adults.
See.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So put into the mix poor diet, poor nutrition, stress, pollution, negativity around you, lockdown, corona, our body's under attack. Now, if we lived in the perfect utopia environment where we had fresh fruit, fresh vegetation, no 2G, no 3G, no 4G, no 5G, or we're protected, no negativity, we're in nature, we meditated 20 hours a day, we'd live like gods, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we don't have that luxury living in the environment we were in. We got to do the best we can to protect our energy, protect ourselves, protect our family, and filter out negativity and toxicity. So this is really key. And I gave a podcast last week on toxic health. You want to lose weight, eat less, exercise more. It's not rocket science. Most people don't do that. Why? There may be the anomaly or the exception to the rule, like myself, where you've got issues, you've got to figure that out. But on the whole, it's easy. Cut out crap, cut out sugar, cut out alcohol, cut out things that aren't good for you. You go to the supermarket, 97% of the food in the supermarket is not even for human consumption. And they done a study in the 1940s where they took a bowl of spinach, and that was enough for our recommended daily allowance. They done the same study 50 years later, and guess how many bowls of spinach were required to give the same recommended daily allowance of nutrients and vitamins? Take a guess.
10.
How many?
10.
Yeah, it wasn't 10. It was actually 47.
Whoa.
So what that means is the food that we're eating today is nutritionally depleted. And it's important to understand that. What that means is even if you're eating organic, all it means is there's no pesticides, there's no herbicides, it's sprayed. But with Corona, organic, you can't even trust organic now. I don't trust anything because you don't know what's going on. So what's important to understand is whatever we're consuming into our body, even if it's good, and most of the time, let's face it, it's not, it's depleted because consumption, volume, business, we're taking so many nutrients out of the soil, it's not being irrigated. And it's not being returned to the soil. We are consuming the planet. We are destroying the planet. And that's why, even if you're eating healthy, it's essential that you supplement with vitamins, minerals, and nutrients because you are simply not getting enough of your food. And the more I've learned, the less I speak because people have got their own opinions. And I'm not here to convince, pitch, or sell. I'm just here to raise awareness and educate people. So we have a serious problem. So even if you're eating right, you're still not getting the right nutrients. Now, that's not enough. So basically, going back to the molecules, scientists were researching these molecules in the 90s. The discovery of these molecules was awarded the 1998 Nobel Prize. So it's a significant breakthrough in health and science. On the back of that breakthrough, scientists came together. They were able to develop this product. And the rest is history. And you cannot get this product through pharmaceutical, NHS, commercial, or retail. It's only through private distributors like myself through a model called network marketing. Now, network marketing, I'm sure you've come across network marketing, right?
Yeah, absolutely, yes. Yeah.
Have you ever been involved with a network marketing company yourself?
I have. I've tried a couple, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, and for me, there's no judgment. What's been your experience? Has it been positive, negative, draining, good, bad?
Yeah, I think the biggest point is also the mindset aspect, isn't it? That's why I think people get to study books like, Go for It, because the people can get knocked back from, because some people will have negative connotations about mindset and being pushed to buy certain things, even to the extent they don't actually sit and look at what is being provided and the value of it. They just have in their mind network marketing and all of that. But aside to that, if you're really passionate about it, you have the right mindset, you can actually do well and provide value for people through that. So it's good in that respect. I mean, from a business point of view, it provides people a path which is a low entry, and they can, if they work hard and stick with it, they can do and achieve better things with it. But if you, for the slightest negative vibe that you get, you stop, then you can't do much with it. But most of it is around health products, like you're saying. If you do your research, understand what the provision is and what are the benefits. There is stuff out there which will give value to it, and it's quite beneficial, even through the network marketing field.
Absolutely. And I've learned a lot. And I'm not here to promote network marketing. I'm not here to promote my product or service, but these are lessons that I learned through the journey. So I've been in network marketing for about 15 years, and I've had 13 years of failure with 10 different companies. My business partner who introduced me to this company, he had 13 years of failure with 15 different companies. So between the two of us, we've had 25 years of failure with over 25 different companies. We've learned what not to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've learned what to do as well. So that's the reason why I mentioned that. But network marketing is widely misunderstood. But unfortunately, there is a lot of corruption, a lot of manipulation. And I'm just a realist. I'm not a network marketer. I'm not a salesperson. I'm just here to serve and make a difference. And what I've realized is a lot of people talk about serving the community, helping people. But are they actually helping people, or are they lining their own pocket? And there's a very fine line between influence and manipulation. It's called intention and integrity. And that is key. You have to be very clear with why you do what you do, how you do it, the way you do it. And a mentor said to me, he said, if you look at the French and the British, when they went to North America, they went there to build a new life. They went there to create life. They didn't go there to come back, did they?
No.
So they bought a one-way ticket on the Mayflower in 1620. And they went to North America and Canada. They built homes, churches, shops, and towns. And you look today at North America and Canada, there's affluence there, right?
Yeah.
You look at the Spanish and Portuguese, When they went to South America, they went looking for wealth. They found the wealth. They brought it all back to the motherland, Spain and Portugal. And today in South America, there's poverty. Is that a coincidence?
Very interesting. Yeah.
I've been trained by very powerful, wealthy people. They never taught me about money. They taught me to use this and to see with this.
Yeah.
Things that people can't see. And my mentor said to me, he said, James, no matter what you do in life, whether it's friendship, romantic relationship, or business, he said, you have to be clear with your intention. He said, you need to be clear with why you do what you do, how you do it, the way that you do it. He said, if you're looking to make money, you'll make it, but the collateral damage will be devastating and it will never, ever last. He said, you have to be clear with adding value, because if you go to add value, you'll build communities like we did in North America and Canada. My mentor was from Canada. That's fascinating. He said, this is why most people don't succeed in network marketing, because they jump from one opportunity to another, but they're chasing the wrong thing. They're chasing money. They're not coming from service. They're looking to make money. And most people in business, like my friend who set up his business in AstraZeneca, invested £700,000. He walked away from a £200,000 salary. And his church told him, because he built a product, he's an inventor, and his church members told him to set this up as a business. He wanted to set up as a charity because he wanted to help people. They said, no, you need to set up as a business. So he had skills. He was highly specialized. He was an expert. He was proficient. He was spent years studying. He's got employees. He's got staff. He's got overhead. It takes a lot to build a business. And it has a lot of money. You're looking at 50K above. He's raised almost £1 million. So it takes a lot of money. So people come with a mindset into network marketing. I want to become a millionaire. Oh, £200 is a lot of money. £1,000 is a lot of money. When you're coming with a broke mindset, you want to make a millionaire, it doesn't work. And unfortunately, because network marketing has such a low entry level, it attracts the wrong people that have got no skills, no expertise, no experience, nothing going for them, and they want to make money. And they are basically giving the industry a bad name. Because network marketing, I love network marketing. I love MLM. I love the systems. I love the processes. The best thing about it is the people. The worst thing about it is the people. And I was getting frustrated, and I'll come back to that in a second, but it's important to understand this. I'm not a network marketer. I'm a strategist. I'm a connector, and I'm a networker because the skills that I've learned in network marketing. But you go to university, you get a degree. You don't have the skills straight away. You pay up front. You leave in 4 years. You do the exam. You get skills. And then you got to build the experience. I've been a student of network marketing for 15 years. It's taken me 15 years, number one, develop the skills. That number two, to figure out who the hell James Porritt is and understand myself. That's been a long journey. Now that I've developed that skills, that's the first part. Most people say to me, how can you endure that much failure? Well, failure for me is first attempt in learning. We look at successful people, we look at what they are and where they are, but we don't look at what they had to go through to get there. Success and failure are interlinked. They're like two sides of the same coin. You can't have one without the other. Success and failure, they're like Siamese twins. You can't separate them. Success is simply failure turned inside out. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is the journey to success. Failure, first attempt in learning. And we look at the most successful people. Michael Jordan, one of the greatest athletes in history, yet 7 years he was on the failing side. 7 years. On court time, 9,000 times he missed the basket. 9,000 times. 1,000 times he tried to take a basket and missed. 300 times he was on the losing side. 24 times he was asked to take the winning shot and missed. And he said, I failed and failed and failed. That's why I succeeded. My journey is no different. My story is no different. Bill Gates, some people might have heard of Bill Gates, right?
Yes.
Most successful people in history. He failed the exam that his friend aced. And his friend ended up working at Microsoft, the company that he owned. Interesting that, isn't it? Steve Jobs was kicked out of his own company. And eventually he came back later on. He done a lot of stuff in the interim. It's things that we can learn from these people because it's the journey. Success is not about the business. It's not about the money. It's not about what you gain from it. It's about the insight, the knowledge, the wisdoms that you gain, and who and what you become in the process. Practice does not make perfect. Practice is about progress. Practice makes permanent. It's about the lessons learned. And see, the thing is, the student doesn't really understand. There's so many amateurs out there. The master has failed more times than the student has even attempted.
Yeah.
Every master was once a disaster, including me. It's about the knowledge that you gain, and it's about intention and integrity. It's about understanding value systems and the belief systems. This is key. So all these knowledge that I've learned, that's what's propelled me to success.